Hello, footies, and welcome back to Foot Hidden Review. This is episode 719. It's the second week of the year, and everyone is currently in packs. We'll talk about the fact: have you backed any team of the year? Do you like the grind? Is there any grind? Is it still a good promo? And John, what about the player you mentioned last week? That's probably wasn't worth doing, but suddenly runs in every single pro team. More and this special show. My name is John. I'm not alone. I am joined by, I already gave it away, the other John, the best John of us. Hello, John. How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you, John. Thanks for having me back on. I wouldn't say I was the best John. I'm one of the Johns.
You're definitely the best, John, because apparently I threw you under a bus last week, so I think an apology is in place.
It's okay, you know who your friends are.
I hope your wife still talks to me after that one.
She does, to be fair, because she's not into FC or FIFA, she doesn't listen to the pod, so it's totally fine.
Oh, I'm safe. I'm safe. That's good. I can't say the same about the other host's wife today. She does listen to the pod, so maybe I have to be a little bit more careful now. Welcome back on a Friday, Graham.
Thanks for having me back on. Normally you're quite alright with me, so you don't need to worry from my missus, but you did throw John under the bus last week. It's terrible. Funny but
Yes.
terrible.
You actually like I actually forgot. I thought it was just a little bit of banter, and then I think the next day you sent me a message like you made me laugh about this joke, and then I watched the Spotify comments, which apparently many people noticed I threw you on my bus there, John. So once
Or the
again,
Discord noticed as well, so
it didn't mean it as a joust, and I'm sorry.
not a problem. I knew it was all in jest.
Graham, you're wearing blue today. Does that mean you have a team full of blues as well?
Nope, not a single one this year. Last year I was by this time last year I had 6 or 7. Not even a sniff.
What's been the grind like for you?
Uh Grinding away, but not as much as last year. The lack of blues, the lack of the honourable mentions being in the packs last week as well, because normally they're in from the beginning, and it's like they'll add a few in, but uh, sort of just underwhelming. So my grind has went way down. Like I said on the pod on Tuesday that you commented we were in Crete, how quick I was rattling through the SBCs. Nah, just there's no motivation when the rewards are so low. So been trying to keep my pack levels up, but the motivation just every day goes down. What about yourselves? Any blues yet?
Yeah, sorry, but I remember you actually doing those SPCs in some time. John, you know when you have these apps that aren't, exactly allowed to use, but everyone uses them, which
Third
do the
party.
SPCs for you? Yes, Graham is manually faster than those apps.
Wow.
It's insane.
Wow.
Like
Okay,
before I even finished my coffee, he was like 20 player picks further. It's like, get one say, oh, you packed this one? Okay, okay. That
yeah,
was
yeah.
insane.
I'll
So
be
that
looking
says
forward to seeing
something.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, we should. His SBC challenges should make get their own show. I think.
You
But
still
John,
sitting with loads of packs, Homer? I know she said on Tuesday's pod you were probably still going to be about 100 packs. You still got that many?
I think it's about 101 I'm on.
Right, okay.
And then obviously I'll do the upgrades and everything once we come off the pod. So I'll be back up to about one, what the person, how many pod, like, non-repeatable ones I have? About 120 I think I maybe get once I start doing all the packs tonight. And I'll just try and
That's
rip through them all and recycle as much as possible, but I'm not holding much hope out here.
nah, I think it's fair to say back weight has been pretty low. But John, do you think it's lower than ever before, or is it just always low during Team of the Year? Because last week you said you don't quite Team of the Year, but you also don't mind it, if I remember correctly. It was
yeah. I think it's like a love hate thing, right? If you pack something, then you're on that love side. It's great. You've got one of those great players you don't come across, but where I'm certainly playing in the competitions, the live tournaments, things, you're not coming across that many team of the year. Sorry, I keep getting them mixed up. But if you don't pack something, then it becomes quite a like you hear it from Shaq and that on Tuesday's pod. It becomes really frustrating, and I don't want to say the word depressing, but it does take the fun off the game. It's like you're throwing money at the game, you're throwing your coins at the game, you're throwing your club at the game, and you don't get those blue flashes, and it is just like, oh, what is the point? And that's how they get you, obviously. But I was lucky. I did pull one right after last week's pod.
Yeah, like 5 minutes after, directly after. It was like...
Basically was, yeah. We finished the pod, I logged in, I threw some FIFA points on. First pack, Russo. The rest of the packs, nothing. And the rest of the points that I bought through the week, nothing. But most of my club has come from points this year.
So Graham wearing blue, not in Team Blue. John not wearing blue in Team Blue. I'm wearing green. I'm preparing for a different promo, I think. Graham, it's back. Team of the year. Hate it? Actually hate it now? Or?
It's always been a love-hate for me. Like John said, if you pack a blue, it's brilliant. Last year, I absolutely loved it because I ended up with 8. A few of them were dupes, but it's still 8 in total. I love the grind. I love the chase of it all. But John said it's not depressing. It's more disheartening. I've not put a penny in this promo. But normally, last year I put money in because I'd started getting blues, and I'd seen there was a pattern you could get the blues. So I was like, well, let's put a couple pounds in and see if I can chase a bigger blue than what I've already had. But this year, they've given us nothing, so I think, well, I'm not going to give you anything. I'll give you some time, but that's it. So I still like the chase of the blue. I still like try to grind the packs, try to open as many as possible to get it. But I've noticed, like, whoever seems to get blues have got quite a few blues. Like you're saying, you've not seen many people wear them, John, and it's like, I've not seen many, but the few that I have seen, they've had more than one, and most of them have been first owners. It's not like they've been at the store, the transfer store, and they've went and purchased them off somebody else. So, still love-hate. It's the big promo. It's like the WrestleMania, the cycle. So it's like you're always going to be excited for it, but it's just that, like I said, it's disheartening and underwhelming at the moment. But I still got a week of grinding away. So you never know. This time next week, I could be happy with it.
Yeah. John, it's like Feyenoord getting to the Champions League final, then losing to PSV.
Okay, I deserve that one, so I'll let it go this one. You might not be able to do much in the Discord this week, though, because of certain reasons, but hey, you got me there. John, or guys, I might have a little bit of a more strict take on this promo after this week. I absolutely hate it. And the thing is, why do I always look forward to Team of the Season, and why Team of the Year sort of love-hate? I think because there is, for many people, not a carrot. There's just that stick. And we've seen this week people pulling 16 Team of the Year players, 17 even, but also spending £6,000 on it to maintain it, to get it. Team of the Season, you play Week at League, and you have SBCs that are good. I think that's something we've lacking this week, like that one player which everyone could add to their team, so you at least can get stronger at the end of Team of the Year promo. I think that's sort of still in the middle. There are good players, but there's not like that one player that everyone wants to do. Maybe Marcelo, but still, again, we were pretty controversial about that as last week as well. But the thing is, there's no guarantee on any Team of the Year or any blues this year. And if you look at Team of the Season, then you do have, right? At least if you play champs, you get one. Maybe not the best one. Maybe it is the best one. But at least you get some sort of a reward that could increase your team after putting the time in. I think especially, I mean, there's just 12 players in packs, or, well, if you have the icons as well. But put one icon into a champs, for example, right? Everyone gets to pick one icon out of these 4, whatever. Doesn't even have to be the icons in pack. But I think the carrot is definitely lacking, and I think it's fine for people packing these, and I'm very happy for those. But I think if you spend £6,000 on it and you get 16, that shows you need to spend like, what, 400 for one average, John?
That's probably what I've spent this week, and I've got one.
Yeah. So and I don't like. I'm in a position where with food coaching, food and review our businesses, we could spend money on the game as a tax purchase, right?
Yeah.
But even then, I can't wholeheartedly say it's a good purchase because either we spent a whole lot of money, like those £6,000, and make content out of it and hope we make it back. Because anything below that doesn't make much sense spending. One team of the year might make a big difference, but like I could also buy 2 new headsets or headphones or microphones for the team with the same money, which will last us longer, probably, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
If there was some kind of guarantee, I know food doesn't have like a pity timer many games have, where, for example, if you go to Hearthstone, you can buy packs as well, but 1 in 50 packs will have a guaranteed legendary card, say an icon card in it. Then at least, if I buy 50, I will have one, right? And I know that's not how the game works, but that's why I think the Team of the Year promo. I've been thinking about it this week, and I think Team of the Year is basically the promotion for the wheels amongst us. You either have spare cash to spend and you don't care too much if you pack anything or not, right? Or you're a wheel and you're going full on in this promotion just to get those blues. But this promotion is built specifically towards those players. Even if we discuss the player that got on tonight, and we'll put it on screen later, but we got the Totti SBC coming out is near 2 million, right? The way this year that you can get the 90 rated cards and how many there actually are, this is still an unreachable SBC for many, many people. I'm not saying it's not worth the 2 million necessarily, but it's not that player that will get into the team, right? This is the promotion built for wheels. And I think if you're not a wheel, not able to, let's put it like the £400 budget. If you're not able to spend £400 this week or these 2 weeks on Team of the on packs, just try not to care too much about this promotion. I'd even say, one, it's mentally much more healthy for you, right? 2, you're much less likely to get burned out by the grind, because if you grind for 2 weeks, you don't get nothing. That's a horrible feeling. And the way the streamers have been shown this week and the content creators have shown this week, if you really want to guarantee yourself a team of the year, you got to spend a whole lot of money. And I can't say to anyone, spend or don't spend. It's up to you. I don't have a certain take on it, and I'm in a position that we could spend, but I'm not spending it because the odds just don't even make sense business-wise for me. Unless I spend a whole lot, but that's not what we do on this podcast, right? We build on the platforms, not necessarily on opening a pack, for example. So my short story, I tried to make it short, I'm sorry for that, is that I think I've been watching this week, and I think this is the promotion built for wheels. If you're not a wheel, open some SBCs, open some grinds, but don't care too much. Please don't spend many money on it. And please don't be bothered by not getting anything, because then these 2 weeks just weren't for you. And I think these 2 weeks are not for like 95% of the player base, if I'm quite honest.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point, John. Very well discussed. It's I probably spent a little bit less than 400, probably more around 300, I think, maybe. John.
Yeah, I give or take. I mean, it was just
yes, give or take, but it's still, it's. I look at it like Mystic Smeg in the Discord talks about. It's a hobby. If you go play golf, you go and watch an F1 race, you go a season ticket holder.
Right, I bought football tickets this morning. Don't worry about it.
No, but
things cost money,
people,
right? So
it is a hobby. So some hobbies you will pay more, some hobbies you will pay less, and like you said, it's where you sit comfortably. But yeah, I wouldn't be telling people you have to go put money on FIFA points and buy packs. I know we've said before we're not really into that side of the thing, and everybody does it at discretion. But I would certainly say the majority of my team, my icons, Marcello came the original Marcello, not the new card, came out of pack, etc. Out of store pack. So
I just tossing it in here. Talking about carrots and sticks, right? If there was a higher drop rate, you get more chance of actually getting a Team of the Year player. Wouldn't we be spending more than we currently are?
I said it in my last bit there that I was grinding I started picking up the blues from like the grind and like SBCs. So that dopamine hit of getting the blues and seeing that I was getting, like, I'd never packed a blue till last year, and I've been playing this since it was in DLC, and so that was my first blue, and it was like, oh, I got blue. Started doing more grinding. There's another blue. There's another blue, and I was like, oh, they're dropping quite whatever. So I spoke to my partner, and she's like, put money on if you want. So I'm very frugal. I'm quite tight, typical Scottish person. So I only stuck like £20 on.
Wow. I'm
Uh,
Dutch. We can't talk about tightness here. But
so I only stuck like £20 on, and then I got another 2 blues, and then I was like, I'm gonna stick £50 on this time, and then I got more blues. So if they were more willing to give us the blues, I certainly would put more money on. But like I said, for me, if I'm not seeing any reward, I'm not going to give them the money. And I know it just depends on your situation, but some people are willing to throw money and see what happens. The other side of that, you need to show me first before I'll give you anything. But
to interject here, I think it's two edged sword. Do you get 100 people spending £100, or do you get 10 streamers spending £6,000?
But even some of the streamers were given sponsored packs. So like, they didn't even need to spend any money. Like, they were given the cards for free. But if you've not packed any, like I get 8 last year, and to be honest, I did a little bit better. Maybe an extra win in weekend league, a couple extra wins in rivals. But
John's referenced that before. Adding 1 player, even 2 players to your team, you will only maybe get 1 or 2 extra wins in champs or rivals or something like that. And I think you did say in the couple of pods ago, John, that at this level it's a bigger difference, but generally improving your squad by 1 or 2 players will only tend to get you 1 or 2 wins.
Yeah, so if you don't pack anything, don't be that disheartened or throw the game away, because the new promo is going to be out next Friday. There's going to be new cards there. You'll probably pack one of them, and again, you'll see that extra 1 or 2 wins despite not having the blues that everybody else has. If you come against somebody with a full team of blues, like I came against somebody in the gauntlet with 5 of them, and I beat them. I beat them quite comfortably 4-0, and it was like Marcelo scored a hat trick. So it was like, it doesn't necessarily make you a better player. The fundamentals of the game, what you have, will guide you. So spend money.
Still, I wouldn't mind 2-3 blues though.
Oh, I wouldn't mind them either. That's what. But if you've not got it, like, don't throw the game away and don't decry everything. Just dust yourself off and go again. But
I think it feels worse if you spend $400 or whatever, and you still don't have any. And that's why I think also feel like, I've said this before and I keep saying it, but there should be like a pity timer somewhere in this game where, like, we are very good at saying it's all about money, getting packs and getting sales, right? But if they were really, if they would go, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this out loud, but if they were really good at letting us spend money, they would guarantee, like, if you spend 300, you get 1 blue. For every 300, you get a blue. They'd be racking in money everywhere.
We've said this before, right? In our pod store, that even if they picked one icon or one of the team of the year teams, it could be one of the worst ones, and go
goalkeeper. Yeah.
An Endler, I guarantee if you put Endler in the store and says £15, £20, £30, yes, you get Endler, people will buy it. Like, there's ways that they could make more money, especially obviously with their last quarterly report not being great. Obviously, that doesn't.
They don't want it to be great though when in the takeover. So there's.
Yeah, so it only goes up to September, but FIFA or FC was only significantly performing better year to year. That their overall profits were down. So you would think coming into this quarter and you really need a big one, they would have done more to push the money. Like I said, you could put actual players in the store. You could give it, here's 25 packs. If you buy all 25 packs, it may cost you £300, but you're guaranteed a blue. Plenty of people would pay. People would pay it. They just, while EA do chase the money, they don't go away the right way that would help both sides, ourselves as the consumer and the players, and themselves as a business.
The flip side then, if they were more achievable or more packable, then we're all running around with blues, and therefore they lose the specialness of pulling a blue or having a 1 or 2 in your club. I know the 16,
Yeah, but it's not a
17
serious
is different.
problem during team of the season, right?
Yes, because that's coming to the end of the game, and it basically
It's not
and
that
even
far in the end. It's all in.
there's only usually footies after one promotion, then footies, so you've got 2 promotions
Yeah,
after
it's an
it.
8-week promo, right? 6 to
Right.
8 weeks. So
Yeah, and then what generally happens is even the blues that you pack at the end, they're getting replaced by more leagues, and they get replaced by the promotion after, and they get replaced by the footies, and by that time it's almost like open the doors, everybody come in, have a big party, it doesn't really matter, power curve,
yeah,
there is
I
no
guess what
such
you're
thing.
saying.
But here it's
Okay, let
slightly
me put
different.
it. I think I agree with you. That would be my summary of this promo. It's a good thing we're not packing him, because else we would break the game and it wouldn't feel so special. I do think that if you don't want to spend, let's say that £300, let's say if you're not up for spending £300, please let this promo just pass past you. Just let it go. Don't frustrate yourself too much about it. If you pack something from an upgrade, we're so happy for you. But if you're not, it happens. Which also means when we're talking about it happens, Homer happens to drop off. So
Yes.
let's see if he returns later on, shall we? John, I think we both agree that it isn't a great promotion. Well, it's actually a good promotion for you pack-wise, but it's not the best promotion for the community, this one.
No, I think lots of people just get down or frustrated. It's like, I saved so many hundreds of packs, I've opened so many packs, I've grinded so many packs, and I never saw a blue. And then, you jump on Twitter and somebody's got 17, and you're like, well, how does that work? And it is literally roll the dice and see what comes. But yeah, so it does run emotions. Emotions can run a little bit high.
Yeah, exactly. Or emotions also run how when they introduce a new icon in the form of Toty.
Yes, beautiful looking card.
He's here. Francesco Totti. Actually, he's been in the game, of course, this whole year, but we've kind of expected this SBC coming in. I still have to get used to the fact that he's not in PES anymore, by the way. It could be just me. But let's discuss this 91, I think. 91 rated? Yes.
Yes.
91 rated SBC striker Totti that came out. It sounds like the perfect card for everyone to have a look at. And well, I'll say it, have a look at it. I'll put it on screen. John, the first thing I noticed when I started this up is not a 91 rated or the beautiful card design, but I am seeing a 2.1 million price range.
Yeah, I think that is the problem. And Shaq and Graham had all talked about it on Tuesday's pod. Where do you get the 90s from for the high rated squads? Because most of the high rated are sitting within team of the year, and therefore there's a very small pool, which is driven like a Rodri card, if he's tradable, went from like 30,000 to 60,000 with the flick of a switch. Yeah, so that pushes the price up. So most people don't have the high rated fodder, so you have to go.
So where do we
buy it.
get it from, eh?
That's what I'm saying. Where do you get it from? You get it from packs, which we're not getting, and most of those high rateds are sitting in team of the year. So that's what's driving that price to 2 million, because the high rated players are just not available to pack or purchase.
Yeah, this card could be rarer than the blues.
Yeah, you've got to have been really strict in keeping fodders. Always we use the word fodder in the community, but you've got to be really strict to keeping those high rated cards for something like this. Because how else do you do it? And that's the problem, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Is it a great card though?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you're gonna do it?
No, because I don't have the coins. I've got 400,000 coins, John. We discussed off before we started recording. I used a lot of my fodder on icon player picks, which is a waste because I wanted instant result. I didn't want to be building 15 squads or 12 squads, so it was a 5-player squad. You could do that with the fodder and you would rinse and repeat. Waste of time, didn't get anything decent. But yeah, I mean, it's 230 to 250,000 coins per 89 rated squad, and there are 19 squads in total, so that's what pushes the price up. But I think it's a great card, John. I'd love to have it.
I mean, I won't, but that's because of certain legacy thingies, but not necessarily the card itself. I think the card itself is great. I think you can't go any wrong there. But 2 million for 4-star, 5-star player, I think it is.
Yes.
Could get 5. It's a great card. 2 million. I think I don't know about you, but I mean I'm old and I'm Dutch, so I tend to look at after my money. But 2 million, I think, should at least be a 5-star, 5-star.
Yeah, possibly. Or I don't know, what would that come in? What was Marcello 92 rated? And he's a fullback, so maybe 1.5 maybe should have been pitched at, John. I think it's just the price. Then you start picking faults because of the price. If that was 1.5, you probably
I'd be far less. I'd be far more lenient. Yeah, I agree. I've always find it hard to put. Okay, let me see. Like, I start up an SBC. I open the SBC and it says 19 squads. You know what? The next thing is what I do?
Close the SBC.
Close the SBC. I'm like, how's that going to happen?
You're not a menus man.
This is not happening, mate. I'm definitely not. I'm a player, all right. So, and people that know me, know this podcast, know that as well. But this week I've been like, I can't really, like, I'm still, my hands all still bent and stuff. So there's no way I can actually play too much. So this week was like, to prepare for the podcast, I should at least do like 100 upgrades to show that everyone that I've grinded and that, well, there's maybe good luck in there, So let me grind it. So I put in my phone, go sit comfortably. I can't believe I'm telling this, but I even went into a jacuzzi with my phone in my hand, and sitting in a jacuzzi trying to do those upgrade SBCs. John, I can't say anything less that everyone that grinds this game's menus has my utmost respect. And I don't have like the apps that help you, right? So I do like the old-fashioned stuff.
Oh, me too.
But how do people manage?
Don't know.
I almost drowned in the jacuzzi. I actually dropped my phone in the jacuzzi as well because I fell asleep. But these phones last, unfortunately. But I find it so unbelievably boring. Like after the 6-player pick, I'm like,
I'm done. I'm out.
I'll try a couple of more. And of course, I can't like jump out of the jacuzzi, so it got me sort of trapped to do some more. I don't think I did. I don't think I did 100, but I must have done 70, 65, something like that, right?
Yeah.
But I just couldn't keep my eyes open. It's not for me, and I respect you for. And the thing is, let's say I do this every single day for these 2 weeks, and there's not a blue in it. I'd be done for the year.
And that's the difference because you're an absolute player. You watch other people, Net Accounting or just about any other streamer. They all love the menus, not ex-pros. I watch.
It's good it's there. And I like I said, I appreciate people actually. But it's like why I don't like EVOs. It's not why I like. It's.
Because last week I said, I sync my club into Marcello, right? And then I didn't because I couldn't be bothered doing 12 squads. It was too much. And I was basically, but I can get an icon for 5. 5 will take me a couple of minutes. 12 will take me far too long, or it'll take me too many days. And I just did the 5. Shouldn't have done that, but I'm very impatient. Grinding the menus is a patience thing, and that's not something I've got. So
maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just not patient anymore. Well, no, I think I'm patient. I just need to
play.
I need to I need to do something. Make sense? I need to think of what I'm doing. Maybe that's it. If I don't, that's why I can't watch television either, right? Just I can watch the news and that's about my attention span. Then if I watch television, there's a show going on or like a talk show going on, like 10 minutes in, I'm like, I need to do something else because this isn't for me. I respect people doing that. So that was all I could do is grind those things and I just couldn't get done. So if I'd seen SBC with 19 sectors in it, I'm like, you know what? There's a little chance I can finish this. I needed to plan it out. I should pick day 1, 2, day 2, need another 2, something like that, because else it ain't happening.
No, exactly. And I've watched people that do it, John, and it's just like, yeah, kudos. Absolutely, like you said, kudos if you can do that sort of thing. I've not got the patience.
And I
Certainly.
respect Homer for it. If you see him doing it during breakfast, it's like insanity. It's like amazing. Then I'll try to do it. Like, I can do this. Oh, that's cool. Maybe I can do it faster. Make it a little game. It just ends up me tossing my coffee around the table because it's not happening. Homer's not happening either, by the way. He's got some network issues, so he's not returning. So, and well, just finish this podcast. Anyways, we see him back next week. I'm pretty sure he won't abandon the show. John, talking about abandoning, I want to ask you, in these new or not new, in these friendly modes, objective mode thingies, cups, I don't even know how to call it. That's already said how much I'd play him.
Tournaments, live tournaments.
Live tournaments. You need to score. Sometimes you need to win. Most of the time, these days, you need to score. Do you let other people score? Because there's some controversy going, which happens every year when we talk about this. But I just want to take your opinion. There's an objective that says you need to win, and there's an objective that says you need to score, I think.
Yeah.
What do you do?
If I am a couple of goals up and time is running out, then yes, I will absolutely let the person score. I've been burnt before where I've let them score quite early on, and then they come back and beat you, and you think, well, that was my own silly fault. So generally, I will maybe go to about 70, 75 minutes. If I'm a couple of goals up, I will generally let them score. Yeah. Actually, I do let them score, John. If I'm only one goal up and it's 85 minutes, sorry, I'm not taking that risk. But generally, if I'm a couple of goals up, absolutely. Frustratingly, though, I've played lots of games where people are 5 and 6-0 up on you, and they absolutely do not want you to score, because all they want you to do is they want you to back out so they can move on to the next game.
Morality question then. What should people do before I say my take?
There's no right and wrong, actually, I think, John. I think it comes down to your own personality. Like I said, if it's win 10, right, and score 20, right, so there's two parts to that, as you talked about. You could be struggling to get your 10 wins.
You should have said there's also a game limit on it, I think.
Yes.
Situation.
So if you're desperately needing the wins, you possibly are not going to do it. If you're not needing the wins, I don't understand why you wouldn't let somebody score. It's unless you're becoming, I would possibly, selfish, and it's all about I'm going to destroy you, hammer you, 10-0 up, I'm going to keep the ball, I'm going to frustrate you, you're not going to see any sign of my goal. And that is literally because you want the person to back out so you can move on to the next one. That's all it is. It's a selfishness. That's my stance on it. But there gets that little middle ground where I need 10 wins, I'm only at 8, I'm only one goal up, time's running out, then you're not going to give somebody a goal, are you?
Or there's one other situation, which I've noticed this week. Because I do think I agree with you, right? Why not let someone score? That's the normal thing to do. And the way why we discussed it, there's been some controversy amongst content creators. I'm just not going to let anyone score anymore. So what happens this week is I tried it. I didn't even finish it because, again, my hands just can't do it. But I can't here sit and giving my opinion if I actually didn't try it myself. That feels a bit wrong. So here's what happens. I start a match. I'm up 3-0 in halftime. The guy sent me, guy or girl, I don't know, send me a message. Can I score for objectives, please? I'm like, oh yeah, of course, it's in. I actually wasn't even thinking about it because, I don't normally play objectives. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Sure. Give him or her the ball. They score once. I'm like, fine. You know what happened, John? They rubber banded. 45 minutes in, just started the second half. So here I am sitting 6 minutes, I didn't even know it felt like 60 minutes, but
yeah,
ages just sitting there and being punished for my good behavior or letting her score. Next match starts, and I'm like, I'm not going to, I'm already frustrated by this experience. I'm 3-0 up, don't get a message, but I do get what the idea is. I scored a 4-0 and they quit, and I'm done in one half. So, although I very much agree actually on principle, on morality, on what you're saying, I I've done it myself this week once as well, where I was so frustrated by
I
the
think
opposition. Like, you know what? And I punished someone probably, which wasn't nice because some previous one did some. You know, there is no
John,
right and wrong, but there's also like the morality isn't all black and white in here.
no, I agree, and I think that comes down to you're looking at time, right? So if I was 3-1 up and the person rubber banded, I would go, okay, brilliant, and I would look at it. I'm getting the win. I'm already getting the win. I just need to sit through the 6 minutes, which is better than playing 10 games, getting beat 5-0 every game, and never getting the goal and wasting 2 hours and going, I didn't even move forward on that objective because everybody's been ratty or professional or whatever we want to say it. So it's it is a balance. In an ideal
Is it?
world, we should just be a little bit nicer. But everybody's like, you watch it, John. You don't watch a lot. I don't know how much streaming you watch anymore, but you watch some people streaming, and they are literally, oh, it's 5-0. Why won't you quit? 6-0. Why won't you quit? And that's all you get is like, because they just want to move on to the next game and the next game and the next game. It's like, well, that person's trying probably really hard. They're just not really good. They've been unlucky with matchmaking. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I said I'm 99% on your boat. Let's put it that way. But I can't lie and say that, or I won't lie and say that experience didn't like.
It was fun.
Wasn't annoying for me either this week.
Yeah.
Like the thing is though, I know that from myself that I hate these discussions about what I should do in these matters. I also can't like I think EA puts in way too much pressure on the community in its general, like in its wholeness, because of the fact they time limited or they limit the amount of games on it.
Yes.
EA puts the pressure on these players to behave either toxic or super friendly to make it manageable for everyone, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They taught us that every tick in this game should be able to be boxed in, right? Everything that's objective in this game should be able to get it. That's what they taught us, which means everyone will be doing this, and it also means like their matchmaking might be a little bit off. The time limit is definitely on it, or at least the game limit is definitely on it. So every game has to count, and that doesn't mean it's a friendly tournament for me anymore. That means actually pressure is on.
It's competitive. Every mode is competitive.
Yes, but you have to take it friendly because you do want the other one to also get a goal and to make sure they can tick that box off as well. And that's pressure the developers actually put on the players. And I think if you're left or right, the community, I mean, I know I get punished for saying I didn't let them one score that second match. But I also know there's people's going to say, yeah, but we do get your frustration what happened in the first match.
Yes.
And I get all the sides, and I get everyone. I get the player that rubber banded because he might get the last goal, and I'm like, oh, I'm finally done for today. I've been grinding for 10 hours, whatever. I get the player that sent me a message and said, oh, thank you so much for that. And then, I don't think there's a certain percentage. Let's say there's 1% that's actually toxic about it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of percent that actually got burned too much with it. But I do think we should look at the developers here and saying the way these modes are built will require or will actually lead always to this toxicity left or right. And that's what we actually should be looking. Because if you take the timing out, let's say you can get this done and you not have 10 matches. I don't even know because I didn't finish it. But let's say you have 15 matches to do this. Why not make it 30? Who cares?
Yeah, I think the closest to that at the minute, John, was I think it's called the Golden Tournament, and it is Golden Goal.
But they force the golden goal in game. We also have that discussion a couple of times where we say,
yes.
do you quit after they score? You should quit after they score. And no, that's not something you should leave up to the players. They make a golden goal mode.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's where they like, you know what? We decide for you. If you score, it's over. And then toxicity is gone.
Yes. And that's like that. But again, they should raise the cap. At the minute, it's 5 attempts of the tournament per day. And if you win the tournament, usually by the person scoring an own goal, then you're locked out the rest of the games for that entire day. So, so you can jump in, 1-0 win, great, it's over a minute or 90 minutes, second game, third goal, you basically pray, can I be the home team so I can kick the ball
Exactly, yeah.
into my net, which is toxic because you're locking somebody else out. So then you can do the tournament again to do whatever objective, which is usually Evos or win 20.
There you
or
get it. That
25.
even that gets abused, or
Yes.
so. I don't know. They can make it perfect, but I do think they can put in some leniency to make it less. I want to say less hard, to make it easier for people. That doesn't make any sense, but to make it more friendly for people.
Yes, I think in friendly mode especially, but like I said, John, I've seen people.
They should
5,
just
6.
log out object. Like never, ever, ever log in. Make 30 passes in a match, whatever. But we've seen it with Rush. If you say you have to score 3 times, people will score 3 times and then piss off.
Yeah. Sometimes they won't even pass the ball because they're desperately trying to score. If the other way around, if it's getting assist, they literally goals empty and they will not take a shot because everybody's just trying to do their own thing. And you're right, that is coming down to the developers. But again, if it's just play a game, then people will rubber band. And then
Yes, but they rubber banding, they've shown it with Rush as well. They can actually fix that if they focus on that and be a little bit more strict about that. Because if you fix rubber banding and you set more games limitations, like up to amount of games you can play, all of these problems will be solved because everyone would just play, go for the 10 wins, and with those 10 wins, probably get those goals in as well. And everyone would have fun, and everyone would play some normal matches in a friendlier mode.
But again, the community looks for the fastest or easiest method.
Yes, and so can we say you should let the opponent score and you should never rubber band nor message your opponent? Could that be the best solution we can decide on as a community?
No, you should let the person score if you're 4 or 5 goals.
No,
up.
that's okay. That's what I meant.
But
let
I
them
was going
score.
to say, but I was in a tournament where I was needing just one win to box off the box of 4 objectives and get the prize, and I've been struggling to get that last objective knocked off, and I was leading, I think it was 4-3 in the 75th minute, and I kept the ball all the way to the 91st minute, made a simple mistake, the person equalised, went on to beat me in extra time, and I knew before the game had even finished, I thought, I'm going to get a message. And I did. 2 messages. The first one, serves you right, that's what you get for wasting time. And all I replied was, thanks for that, I'll put that on my gravestone.
Yeah. This week did decide me back once again, to stop accepting messages. So maybe I think it's also smart. The problem also is, John, I know we as a community, and I see the communities that we're the diehard players, we're people that are online, we're making content about it. Even if we would agree on certain golden rules of playing these modes, there's a whole level of players that are also playing foot that aren't active on watching podcasts, that aren't watching YouTube, that aren't watching the streamers or follow the social media on foot.
They're just doing their thing.
And they do what they think is right to get things done. And they might actually get more toxic behavior because they don't even know what they're doing wrong. So there is no right or wrong indefinitely here. But I'd love to get someone's take. So please put it in the Spotify comments what you guys think would be fair. Or if you have a certain, if you have like a certain play rules that should apply to everyone, let us know. Because I do think if we can get like golden standard going, John, we would be able, we at least forward it to EA, say put these rules in the game, put this in the mode, and then we might have done.
Yeah, we need to do something that, as a whole, the community is not toxic, but like everything, your local football club will have a hooligan element or a disruptive element. You've got that.
I don't know if my local football club would have that. Quite.
Oh, right, sorry, you're a big football club then, John. Right.
Okay, fine. It would definitely.
Yeah, right, okay. And but even in the game that we just talked about, there'll be a small section of the community that is just generally they are just toxic players. Must win, have to win, want to embarrass you, whatever it is, and that's the same in everything in life. Most people are fine. There's always a small group that are not so nice,
and you can't get it right. Like I said, I had that once where the player rubber banded after they scored. Let's say that happens 3 times in a row. I'm never, ever, ever giving away a goal anymore.
Yeah. So you'll go on to try and win 5, 6, 7, and hopefully the person quits.
Yeah. So I can see both sides.
Because you're still getting the win, John, at 3-1 and the person's rubber banding. You're still getting the win.
And I think that's where you are the better person than I am. That's why I said you're the best, John. Because I'm frustrated because I can't do that. But then again, I can't even open 10 packs in a row before falling asleep. So maybe that's also just a me problem. But I'm also not going to say I'm never letting anyone score against me. Because I think that is by definition a bit of a too harsh of a line to draw.
Say you were 3-0 up, John, in the 88th minute. You'd probably let the person
exactly,
score.
If
they played the game properly the whole game and tried. You wouldn't.
And if they then send a message, I would let them score. So I think it's a balance. I think that's like everything in life is a balance. And I wouldn't put a hard line in sand there. But I can also get why some people get the frustration.
Yeah. I'd like to have more in the middle ground, please.
I mean, wouldn't we all in life? But I'm not sure that will happen anytime soon in the current world we're living in. But hey, let's not go there, John.
Oh, no. It's a mess.
John, do you have anything else you wanted to discuss, my friend? Because I do think we can go into so much depth. We have so much text. We could go into the team. We could talk about the defenders. We could talk about the honorable mentions. The 12 players coming in. Is there any grind coming on? But I think most of it's something we discussed already. You're a manual player now? Or not seriously?
As in, what do you mean manual?
Like, are you a menu player? Like, do you play the menu?
I can't sort of menu. Yeah. I can for a little bit. Yeah. So, like I said, the 5 SBCs for an icon player pick, I can do that. 12 for another icon. No, that's too many. That's too much time.
Basically, we need the 82 times 20 for us to be able to do something like a grind.
Yeah, even the 86 times 2, if that was capped at more, if that was 5 instead of 3, because once I've done my 86s and my 83 times 10, and I'll spend a wee bit of time doing that, not long, I can't be bothered turning bronzes into silver, silvers into golds, golds into rares, rares into leagues.
I can't even be bothered to open my silver pack still. I still have 70 left.
Well, there's 70,000 coins for you, John. That'll get you one of those honourable mention players that you're looking for.
I can actually sell them, right?
Yeah, they're 1,000.
That's a fair point.
Between 900 and 1,200 coins per pack. If you quick sell them all.
Yeah, it's still not happening. But still, if I quick sell everything that comes out of it, it can be pretty quick, actually.
But what you should do for there is 5 tonight, 5 tomorrow. Because you'll manage 5, you won't manage 10, but you'll manage 5.
That's a good thing. Or try 10 before I fall asleep. Go to bed and then try it. That's actually not a bad idea. You know what? It's also not a bad idea that we call it a night for today. Unfortunately, we lost Homer halfway through, but don't worry, we did get in touch with him out of the screen. But he is all right. He just lost his Wi-Fi connection or his internet connection. And well, that's the beauty of doing podcasts all around the world, that sometimes we do need a little bit of connection to the internet. So he's all right. He'll be back next week, I'm pretty sure. John, thank you so much for being here tonight. And if you are listening to the show, I've got 2 things to ask. First thing is, of course, if you want to support the show, then go to patreon.com/food-and-review. You find some new fancy tactics there for you, but you also get this show up to 2 days early every single week. And you can get into direct contact with us through our Discord. And besides, podcasting ain't cheap. We could definitely need support to keep this going. And very many people are doing that, and it's so appreciated. But it's also not getting any cheaper to podcast these days like this. Second thing is, I would love, and I would really appreciate it, if you would leave us a Spotify or an Apple Podcast review. And I would actually prefer it if you're listening on Spotify, because that is something you can help us with tremendously. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it literally takes you, I think, 20 seconds of your time, John, these days. You just go to the Food and Review podcast page, but just type in your Food and Review. And if you're listening to this, you're probably already there. Press the stars below, press it on 5 stars. You can type something and we'll read it out loud. If you don't type something, we'll still get the 5 stars. I'm still grateful, but I can't thank you personally. So leave it there. And a new fun thing we added is if you go to the website, foodandreview.com, foodandreview.com, your review will also be featured there as well. So not only do you help us getting found on Spotify, but also you can see yourself back on our fancy foodandreview.com website, which will be updated in the next coming weeks with some new features. You can also go to foodandreview.com, by the way, for watching the video shows. You can click through on the audio shows. You will be soon able to reread a blog there. Upcoming news. You can see photos of the team, which is getting updated in the next couple of days as well. So go check out foodandreview.com as well. Yeah, that's it for me today. And those things are like the first one, please do it if you're able to, if you're allowed to spend the money, if you're able to spend the money, and you do think we do some good things to this show. The second thing, I would thank you personally because it does help us grow and be found. So thank you so much. John, that's it for me. Normally, I'd press a button and we'll get some music out of this. Unfortunately, well, as you can see, I'm not in the studio because the studio is getting rebuilt, which is going to look tremendously good, I think. But that does mean, well, I'm sort of freestyling it in a kitchen with mobile cameras, and it's a whole different story. We should actually post a picture, I think, with it, how we actually podcast now. But it does work. But that does mean I don't have any buttons to actually play the outro music. But however, I did find a solution. So let's see if we can still get it going by saying drop it.
Drop it.